Okay. Now, I'm going to tell a story that is a continuation of that little town. I told you I lived in that. I drove through that building's road and was explaining how I once lived there twice. This is how it happened the second time from my story. I got to read that thing one day. Like I say, a lot of stuff happened. This lady I had met actually in the at Red Cross's shelter, and I met her again. I'd gone in town from the campsite that's in my story to get something to eat, and at the time I was not a heavy smoker, but I was a smoker, and now I'm going through the process of quitting. It takes about 3 or 4 years. I'm almost there. And then I go to the oxygen cigarette that I'm working on to invent. Because what makes it twice as hard to quit is the puffing. So back to the story. This is how this all happened. I was standing in back in that alley. I did describe that in the video, and smoking, and this SUV pulled up, and it was that lady. I recognized her. She recognized me, I guess, and asked for a cigarette. And we got to talking, and she said that she had quit, but just still needed one from time to time. And she ended up giving me a ride back to the campsite. And I don't think she might have met my fellow campers. There were 3 of us. And I don't know how this worked out, but I eventually, the end of that story ended, and then I wound up sleeping on her floor at that same building. And of course, a different apartment. She had one on the ground floor. So, her problem, I believe she was in her 70s, and I think she was addicted to opiates, and trying to quit smoking, and she once would drink alcohol, and she had quit that, I think, years before. But I was also I was drinking a little. I would say, well, I got to go drink a beer behind not just across the street. They had a recycler back there, and I would sit on a bucket or sometimes just on the ground and on the curb kind of thing, and drink. So she didn't want me drinking around her. I guess that's what I would do, and then this was turning into a big problem when you have somebody that you can drink but they can't. It's just it never works. I was giving her money, and they had that rule that you can't smoke, so it was all messed up. I would have to leave the door unlocked early in the morning to go outside. And I eventually convinced her that, we used to smoke in our place, damn them. And I don't know, she just is having all kinds of trouble with her entertainment system and her phone, and just a nervous wreck. Um, and then it all culminated one night. Oh, let me tell you, I gotta remember when I go back to review this video. I'm gonna try to remember about how I obtained some really bad poisonous ragweed, I think is what it was, and it was just kind of funny. That's a funny little story within itself. Uh, I can't do both the stories. I'll just end this one because oh, and she had hurt her leg, um, and just having just too much that she couldn't handle it really. Uh, shoot. So it all culminated one night, and she just got mad as hell and kicked me out. Um, and I remember breaking a bottle of wine accidentally. I had that suitcase, and it was just not me not being prepared, and it's just I lost my charger for my phone. I think got then found it the next day. Ran over in the parking lot with wine spilled all over it, and it was just it's just turned out kind of sad. But then I'll try to get that other part of the story in there. About that, what I was trying to do with the how I'd had this idea of how uh, there's an easy way to quit smoking. So, okay, like, subscribe.